The president plans to sign an international climate change accord in 2015 without approval of Congress. It's nuttier than elephant poop. The New York Times says the thing would compel countries, including ours, to cut carbon, even though our Constitution demands Senate approval for such treaties. The White House bypasses that by inking a politically binding deal that names and shames countries into submission. There are 4 problems here. It's illegal, it's wrong, it's crazy, and it's evil. First, it's illegal. Politically binding is as legally binding as a Ouija board. If that's a treaty, then so is graffiti. To Obama, the Constitution is like waiting in line for barbecue. It's for other people. Second, it's wrong. The journal Science says the 17-year pause in global warming will last another decade. A natural fluctuation in global climate creates 30-year warming and cooling periods. This is what Obama is about to punish us for, inevitable variability. Third, it's crazy. Addressing global warming before global terror makes as much sense as worrying about indigestion while playing in traffic. To him, terror is a nuisance hindering his march into the abyss. And that's the evil part. Masked as established science, this is wealth redistribution on a global scale, draining our economy in a spasm of socialism. And he wishes to shame us. Don't bother. We're ashamed, but not of us.
Right.
Kimberly.
Yes.
I love how their tactic is to name and shame, as if countries like China would react to that. Oh my gosh, they're upset with us.
I mean,
we will stop.
I mean, we're trying to do the international walk of shame home in the morning. I mean, what is this? I mean, who thought of this? Don't we have enough other real problems to focus on? How is this going to be binding? We're already unpopular enough. Doesn't he at least care about that? What the rest of the world thinks of us? I mean, this is ludicrous. What does he hope to accomplish with this? That's what I don't understand. They're laughing at us. Russia's not scared. China's not scared. I can't even name anyone who is. Yeah. And now we're supposed to expect them to, like, toe the climate change line? I don't think so.
The American public, we're scared.
We're scared. We're like, wake me when it's over.
Bob, I want to go to you. You asked me in the break, hey, do we have any sound on tape of Charles Krauthammer? And so I actually went and I got one for you.
God.
And then I'd like to have you comment on Mr. Krauthammer.
The idea of shaming the butchers of Tiananmen Square or shaming a country that just a week ago buzzed a U.S. airplane at 20 feet, a country that is expanding into the east and the south China Sea is sort of the dumbest idea since the Russian reset. It's also based on the same assumptions that the Russians and the Chinese and others act the way Obama does with adolescent idealism when it comes to foreign policy. So it is an incredibly stupid idea.
Naming and shaming, Bob, is that kind of like a misguided grad student mentality?
Well, first of all, it's good. I was worried that Charles may have gone someplace. I hadn't seen him in so long, and it's really good to see him finally show up on the 5 for the 83rd time this last month and a half. The bright guy. Let me just, I'm not going to get into this discussion. I wish we could get this climate. It will go nowhere. The courts, this is clearly a violation of the treaty-making power of the president.
There you go.
That doesn't mean I don't support it. I'm just saying it's.
But he's going to get the EPA to do it.
At least you realize that there's something.
There's no way.
He's going to bypass Congress and have the EPA do it.
When you've got a binding treaty, you can't possibly do that without.
So why do it?
I don't know.
To raise money?
Please,
I don't think that. I think it's. You know, maybe believe it or not, maybe once in a while he probably believes it. I mean, I believe it. I believe it's a bigger threat than a lot of things. But
he might believe. I mean, that could be it, Eric, that he believes it. But it's a skewed priority, isn't it? I mean, based on hypothetical climate models, there might be an increase in temperature, but we've got big issues going on.
It goes. If it were that, you could say, okay, so he believes. I think it's more about the money. I think it's really, you know, Tom Steyer's pledged $100 million to people who sign on to the climate change agenda that he has. By the way, while he's making money off of companies that are big polluters overseas. Can I just point something out, though? What President Obama is basically doing is telling the world between our corporate tax structure and this. Remember, this isn't going to come down to the individual. Cap and trade is going to come down to the corporations. Corporations who are polluting are going to get charged. It won't be called cap and trade. It'll go through the EPA or some other form of executive action that he'll sign into law. But it's just another strike against doing business. You're a startup company. You want to do business in America and deal with cap and trade and deal with tax structures and deal with rules and regulations. You go, forget it. I'm going overseas. I can do the same darn thing in Canada, Brazil, somewhere else without all this BS regulation.
Can I ask you a simple yes or no question? If the money was there, it is about the money. You don't think there's anything to do with that. If it wasn't the money, he wouldn't do it.
This cap and trade stuff? I think it appeals to his left-wing base.
Yeah, money, right?
So he'll do that. Well, it also makes him feel good. You tree huggers, I got your back. We're gonna deal with the climate. I think that's important to him too.
What do you make of this, Andrea?
Well, those two things aren't mutually exclusive. I mean, I think he wants to raise money and appease, as Eric mentioned, the Tom Steyers and the environmentalists in a midterm where he's only concerned about raising money and managing the news cycle as well. So he's doing this. He believes in this. And he also has no respect for the U.S. Constitution. We've never seen a president try and stretch the authority like this before. But, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, Greg. The world is burning. And the President of the United States is focusing on banning cupcakes, rearranging our menus, and the weather, controlling the weather. This is what he wants to do, control.
Wow.
Wow.
He'd do less damage if he stayed home and just watched the Weather Channel instead.
All right.